what we imagine doesn't hold a candle to what we see. It's funny that we often think of it the other way. At least that's the way I thought of it back when I was a person of faith. I thought, well, the Bible is full of all these amazing, I don't know, angels and demons and heavenly realms and imaginary, or I guess I would use the word imaginary now, things, but they're interesting, and the real world is just so boring. That's not true. In fact, that's the opposite of the truth. What I have discovered now that I walk by sight and not by faith is that when you really look at the world, when you plunge yourself in and you just like drink it in, what you see is always way more, way better than what you can imagine. I experience this almost every time. In fact, I would say every time, without exception, when I'm going to a new lake or a new location, I will start out with some imaginary idea. I'll have some image in my mind of what it's going to be like based on maps and pictures I've seen, etc. But the hike there, and when I actually enter into it, it's just so much richer and deeper and expansive. It's like the difference between 2D and 3D. It's like the what I had imagined is just this 2D or 1D construct, but reality is so much richer. This also hit me on my latest trip to Point Reyes when I was headed up a hill. And once again, one of the things that I think just about everyone does this. This is very human, but you're going up a hill and you can kind of see the top up there, and there's some trees, and they come down on that looks like the top of the hill, and you're like, there's the top, and you just start, yeah, I can do this, and you get there, and then when you get there, it's just you go whoa, and it's just no, you're 1/10 of the way there. It's a false top. In other words, what we tend to do with our imagination or with our assumptions, with our minds, is we tend to compress reality. We tend to compress the vastness of the world into something smaller. And I want to share with you just some clips from my last trip to Point Reyes where I this happened to me. I was climbing up out of Wildcat Camp, and I thought it was short, and it wasn't. So here are some thoughts. I'll jump back in at the end. And sure enough, I come around on the road to what looked like the top. When I was down below, I thought, oh, nearly there. And whoops, lots more. More and more. Some of these trails in Point Reyes are just about as perfect as you can imagine. They're smooth. They have a little bit of grass on each side, cut through the trees. Just so pleasant to walk. Another reason I love to get out here is just because it reminds me of the complexity of life. Finally at the top. I thought it was 800 feet. It's 1,300. It is absolutely gorgeous. And now it starts going down. But it's been about an hour and a half since I thought I was nearly there. And I guess that same kind of collapse is what I experienced when I embraced evangelical Christianity. It's not that it didn't see something and describe something, even something beautiful. It's just that it collapsed it into a single dimension. And it's not that it saw too little, it's that it claimed to see too much. Yes, that really hit me as I was going up that hill. That my faith, which really seemed so substantial to me, when I really walked by faith, meaning but and when I say faith, I mean by this construct, by this idea that I understood God, that I understood the world. Of course, not all of it, but that I basically had a grasp of it. This idea that I had my hands around it somehow, even if imperfectly, that I grasped it. Faith was so much smaller than sight, and so letting go of Christianity, it in that framework, it felt like, well, I'm going to lose all this stuff. And what I found is just the opposite, that the world is much bigger, much more amazing, and that it's amazing to walk by sight. And that even my friend, as I talked about last week, the way I think about my connection with this, with the divine, with the one who I cannot name, I couldn't pronounce the name, but whom I feel all the time. I, I don't pretend to understand. I just experience this, and experience. I will use the word God, but put brackets around it. Just don't think about some human God, but I experience the divine, my friend, so much more profoundly when I do it by taste, by experience, rather than by imagination. I'm up in Seattle this week. That's why I'm doing this rather quick video this week. Um, my dad is 88 years old. He's broken his hip, and my sister's been just amazing taking care of him. So I'm headed up there to be with Dad for a little while. But anyway, so I thought I'd get this one in the can for this week, and hope to have you some good stuff next week. Maybe some reflections on growing older, being up in Seattle. So anyway, keep walking by sight, my friend. It's the best.